You know, I never realized how much like childhood trauma plays a huge part in your adult life. Hey guys, what's up and welcome back to my very zoomed in channel. So for today's video, it's Valentine's Day. You guys know I absolutely hate Valentine's Day, but alas, we are here. We're gonna do a Valentine's Day inspired look. I have nothing but pink makeup sitting in front of me, and I also have a little bit of a sponsorship in today's video. Like, what? Who is she? So you guys wanna see why I hate Valentine's Day, my Valentine's Day inspired look? Well, then definitely keep on watching. Alrighty guys, so I have been very vocal to you guys about how I feel about Valentine's Day. I am traumatized from it and I hate it, but I'm very excited to do a Valentine's Day inspired look because a portion of today's video is actually sponsored by Ofra Cosmetics. You guys know how much I love Ofra, and they're so kind enough to ask me to do a Valentine's Day look, and I was like, I don't like Valentine's Day. They said, you know what, just give it a chance. So that is what we are doing. We are doing a Valentine's Day inspired look, actually using some brand new Ofra Cosmetics products. They're launching 3 new items in honor of Valentine's Day. This is the Self-Love collection. So up first, we actually have the brand new Self-Love palette. This actually does retail for $32, and it says wrap yourself up in the love story of neutrals and pinks and this compact of liquid to bake powders. You do have 5 shades in here. We have 2 shimmers and 3 mattes, and this is their version of a Valentine's Day inspired palette. They're also rolling out with the Inner Glow highlighter right here. This actually retails for $35, and it says captivate hearts with a 3-dimensional show-stopping sheen. Use individually or swirl together. This is such a beautiful highlighter, by the way. Such a beautiful highlighter. And they're also doing a lip set right here. So this actually retails for $50. You get 3 full-size liquid lips. You guys know how much I do love their lip products here. And it says that this is the favorites of flushes are here with our ultra comfortable and long-lasting lip color that stays put and does not dry out. You do have the shades called Bel Air, Oh My, Rai, and Pasadena. So this is their brand new Self-Love collection. This is available right now. You guys can use code Allie, which will save 20% off your purchase. And not to mention, because it is Valentine's Day, they are doing a special sale. If you go on their website right now, which I'll have listed down below, they're doing 25% off all red and pink items through February 18th. Anything that's red or pink, you get 25% off. And you can also stack my code on top of that. So essentially, by using code Allie, you guys can save an additional 20% on top of that, making it 45% off anything pink or red all the way through February 18th, which I think is a really great deal. 45% off anything that's pink or red. They have some great lip products that are going to be on sale. Some highlighters, some blushes for 45% off. Y'all, that's actually a really good steal. So I just wanted to take a moment to thank Ofra Cosmetics for sponsoring a portion of today's video. Y'all know that I never get sponsorship opportunities, so this to me is really, really exciting and so cool. So I just want to thank Ofra. We're gonna be using these products today, and I'm also using products that are all pink because it's Valentine's Day and we gotta celebrate. So I'm gonna go ahead and dive right in. We're gonna go ahead and use this palette right here. I'm gonna do my eye base, and for today's eye base, we are gonna go into my P. Louise eye base right here, but like y'all can't see this because it's not pink related. But yeah, when Ofra asked me to do this, when Ofra asked me if I wanted to partner up, I said, oh my god, yeah. I let them know I absolutely hate Valentine's Day, and then I thought it'd be kind of a good idea to tell you guys why. Now I let you guys know in my new makeup releases essentially like how I feel about Valentine's Day, but there are stories as to why I hate Valentine's Day, and it goes all the way back to my childhood. I did not realize how much childhood trauma really does play an impact when you become an adult. Like, it really does. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, because I literally can pinpoint exact moments of why I hate Valentine's Day, because kids are mean. Kids are freaking mean. Kids are so mean. Okay, so my parents have worked in Disney my entire life. Like, they moved down here from West Virginia. They worked at Disney long before I was even like a concept, right? So I was used to my parents being both. I was used to my parents being involved in the Disney like World aspect, and since they both have full-time jobs, I would get placed in daycare. I think I was in daycare since I was like 18 months old. But you know what though? Like I know some people are like, "Oh, that's so young." I'm actually kind of glad that my mom and my dad did that because it allowed me to build like socialization skills, and I got to learn how to have independence from them at a very young age. And I really kind of enjoyed having friends and no friends. It was fun. It was fun. So I'm going to start off, by the way, I'm going to go into this pink shade right here. This is the shade called Heartthrob. It's like bright pink. So I was in daycare, and I remember I used to be kind of like a heart stopper, as you would say. I used to be like a little heart stopper. I remember that there was this little boy when I was like 3 years old that was obsessed with me, and rightfully so. Like, rightfully so. Who would not be, right? And he used to give me watermelon Jolly Ranchers because those are my thing. Those are my thing back in the day. And I'll never forget, it was around Valentine's Day. Maybe I caused childhood trauma for him. What was his name? Poor kid. All I remember was that it was around Valentine's Day, and he used to bring me watermelon Jolly Ranchers because he knew that those were my favorite. Well, one day he came into our like kindergarten class, whatever it was called, daycare. I don't know what it was called. And he did not have any watermelon Jolly Ranchers. Oh my God, I am such a bitch. He did not have any watermelon Jolly Ranchers, and he had asked me to be his wife. And I said yes. And then when he came into school without any watermelon Jolly Ranchers, I was like, who do you think you are? You are not coming up in here without having my favorite candy and expect me to still be married to you. This is so embarrassing. So I broke his little heart. I broke his little heart and I dumped him. And I distinctly remember him being very upset, and I remember he cried to the teacher, and I remember I got in trouble for breaking this little boy's heart because he didn't have watermelon Jolly Ranchers, and maybe I caused some childhood trauma for this little boy. Oh, if you're out there and if you remember me, I'm so sorry. Okay, this is karma. We're gonna get to that. So that's kind of like where Valentine's Day started for me. You know, I expected the best out of these boys, okay? I expected nothing but the best. And we're treated like royalty. So a year later, I remember my parents took me to this aquatic center. I don't want to say the name of it because it kind of like gives away like where my childhood home is. I'm being protective of it. But it's still there. It's still there to this day. And I remember there being like this little boy that was following me around the pool a lot. And it was like this little French boy. I just remember he was like little French boy, so I kept calling him. I remember he kept following me around. I remember I got really creeped out. I remember my mom talking to some lady thinking it was really funny that this little boy was like following me around. And I remember I screamed at him and told me to leave me alone. And I remember I think he got his feelings hurt. Anyway, the following year, see, I started to build an ego. These little boys were building like an ego for me. I thought I was the shit. Then we get to kindergarten, okay? Now, kindergarten, there was this little boy named Casey. I remember his full name, too. His name was Casey. And I really, really liked this boy, okay? I thought I was going to marry him. He was my first love. I was truly so obsessed with him. But little did I know that little Casey was a player and had 2 other girlfriends in the class. I thought I was his only one. Mr. Casey. He technically was my first kiss. I remember kissing him at a playground by the swing set. I remember kissing him, and then there's this little girl named freaking Laura that I saw do it right afterwards, and I was like, anyway, I digress. So I thought I was his one and only, okay? Now, back in kindergarten, and I'm pretty sure elementary school still do this to this day, they used to make us make these really creative Valentine's Day box where you have to go and, like, decorate it. You have to cut a hole in it, and then on Valentine's Day, they'd have all the parents come in and bring all these snacks, and, you know, you got to bring in cupcakes and candy and this and that. And they said that everybody had to bring in like a pack of Valentine's Day cards. Like everybody had to bring in cards. That was the rule. Like everybody had to bring in cards because like no child could be left behind. Did that ever happen? No. There were kids that got left behind because you're just like, I don't want to give a card to that weirdo over there that I don't like. Or you're not friends that day. Why would I want to give you a card? We're not friends today. We're not friends. You know what I mean? So no one ever listened, okay? And I just remember being in my kindergarten class And I remember I had a decorated box. I think my mom bought like store-bought cupcakes for me to bring in, and we were having a little party. And everybody has their box out on the desk. And now you're supposed to be kind of away from your desk so that the kids can walk by and put the Valentine's Day card in that little shoe box with a little hole cut in it. Okay. And I was so excited because I thought, oh my God, Casey's going to get me something. I'm his girlfriend. I'm so excited. I remember I got him a card, those pre-made cards, and I said, love, Allie. Like, I was so excited, to have my first, like, little boyfriend. And then I remember I opened my box and I barely had anything in it. I barely had anything in it. Oh, but Miss Laura did. Miss Laura got stuff from Casey and from a lot of people in class. And that was my first, like, taste of rejection. That was my first taste of a boy choosing another girl over me. And I remember I was absolutely, like, devastated. I was like, what the heck? Like, this was so heartbreaking for me because here I am getting this kid candy, and I put like extra like hearts on his card and wrote love, Allie. I was so upset with this guy named Casey, and I was like, I'm not talking to anymore. And I could not believe that everybody was getting all these Valentine's Day stuff and I barely got anything. I remember being very upset by it. Now I will say my parents were always really sweet. I used to watch my dad every Valentine's Day give my mom some flowers and some cards, and my dad always made sure to get me like a little box of chocolate, and like he always got me a card as well. My mom did the same thing. Like they always got me something for Valentine's Day, but it's from my parents. As much as I love it, like I wanted something from Casey. Like that's what I expected. So I move on from him. I was devastated, but you know how kids are. We bounce back quick, okay? We don't have time to cry over silly little boys. We have bigger and better things to do. We had to move on to first grade. So we're going to move forward a year later. Now we're in first grade. Casey who? Haven't thought about you. But we get to first grade. And this time I have a new best friend. Her name is Cassandra. And we were both obsessed with this little boy called Enrique. And it's really embarrassing because this obsession was real, okay? Like, I followed this boy's journey up until high school, okay? I did stalk him on MySpace back in the day to be like, where did he end up with? And I'll get to that in a minute, but I did really love this boy named Enrique. Now, me and my friend Cassandra were really obsessed with him, okay? He was such a smart kid too. Oh my God, what a smart little boy. So I was obsessed with him. So was Cassandra. I'm gonna go into this shade right here. This is called Bring It On. So I was really obsessed with him, and I remember we had this Christmas play that was coming up. And I had told him that I bought the prettiest little Christmas dress that you can imagine, that it's so pretty. We spent so much money on it. You're going to be like obsessed when you see it. Y'all, it was a simple plain green dress. There is nothing spectacular about it at all. But I had talked it up. Now, this is what's hilarious about it. It was a Christmas play. So my parents came and my parents filmed the entire Christmas play. All right, so you see me standing next to this boy the whole time, looking at him, singing to the crowd, looking at him, and this best friend of mine, Cassandra, who is just as obsessed, is standing right behind me. Oh no, she finds her way down from the little stand from behind me, down to be between us while me and him are sharing a Christmas tree, and she stands right between us, and you see us both kind of being like, he's mine. You know what I mean? Like you see that, and it's on tape. My parents have that Christmas tape. I remember we went to West Virginia that year. They showed my whole family. Everybody knew I was obsessed with this boy named Enrique, okay? It was a clear obsession. But I was not the only one that was fighting for his attention. Every girl was wanting his attention. He was Enrique. So, it's so funny to know that that is still something that's very present, that my parents can like go watch, is my obsession with this freaking kid when I was in first grade over Christmas thing. I feel like that definitely needs like a little bit more pop. We'll add something to that towards the end, but I'm actually going to go into this highlighter right here because I feel like this highlighter would actually kind of complement this. I'm going to go into this highlighter. I'm going to kind of mix both shades like that. And we're going to put that right here because I feel like this would kind of bring a little bit more, poppiness to it. That's what I'm looking for. So we have the Christmas parade, and it's really clear my obsession over this kid named Enrique. So Valentine's Day comes, and once again, we have to create those freaking boxes where you have to cut the little hole in it and you have to put the cards in there. And the teacher made sure that everybody gets a card. That was the rule. Everybody gets the card because no child should be left behind. And I was so excited because I thought maybe this is the year that like Enrique's going to come. Maybe this is it. Enrique's going to confess his love for me. He's going to put a card in here and he's going to say how he feels about me. I'm just going to quickly, you know what? I kind of want to make this pop a little bit more. I'm going to take a little bit of the Jaclyn Cosmetics. This is the High Volt highlighter. I'm just going to take a tiny bit on my finger, like very, very tiny. And we're just going to very lightly just kind of tap that in. Very, very, very lightly. Okay, I'm going to quickly do the other eye off camera because we're not done. So now the eyes are essentially done. They're messy, but like trust the process. Where I will say this is actually a really pretty palette. I'm not gonna lie, it's really pretty. I think they could do without the brown. I don't really know what the deep brown has to do with this palette. I feel like that could have been like a red or like a purple. I feel like that made this palette like really sell that it's self-love. I think they could have gone without the brown because I'm not gonna really use that, but I will say the rest of the shades are really, really pretty. So we're gonna move on to the primer and go in the One Size Secure the Glow primer. This is a pinky primer, like so I'm using everything pinky that I can. So fast forward to Valentine's Day, okay? The teacher, it's the same setup as, you know, kindergarten. The teacher has a big party. Everybody has to bring in a box and bring in cards for everybody. And I thought, okay, this is the moment. This is the moment I get to look right at Cassandra and be like, I told you I was his girlfriend, being a little petty bitch. And I opened my box, and this time the box is full. This time it has a lot of cards because every student actually participated. Everybody made sure that everybody had a card. And I saw a card from Enrique, and I got so excited because I was like, yes, and what did I tell you? And I opened it, and it said, I'm so glad we're friends. Happy Valentine's Day. Something along the lines of that. Like, I can't exactly remember what it said, but something about, like, you're such a great friend. Happy Valentine's Day, Enrique. And I was like, little did I know, and not only little did I know, while I was pining for Enrique, Enrique was pining for this girl named Amber. Now, Amber became a good friend of mine in 4th and 5th grade. Really loved her. Thought she was a sweet girl. Absolutely beautiful, by the way, and like really like naturally pretty. He was in love with her, and he was in love with her the entire like elementary school grading system. They ended up dating when they were in middle school. Like he finally like won her over. They ended up dating for like a year or two, and then she dumped his ass and started dating a different guy, and they stayed together all the way throughout high school, but they're not together now. How I know this? Because I stalk people on social media. That's how I know this. Now I tried to find out his journey. His journey stopped when he got to high school, because when we went to middle school, he went to a different middle school than I did, and so did Amber. And then I would see like their stuff like being caught up when I would go see her in person, and then when we got MySpace, I was kind of able to follow their like journey through there, and they ended up not being together. And I had a lot of mutual friends, and yeah, he finally got the girl that he wanted for like a couple, like throughout like middle school or so, and then they broke up. But he was pining for her the entire time, so he got her like flowers. Like he's actually brought in like little flowers for her and a card. I'm over here opening mine that says we're just friends, going. So that broke my heart. But you know what? It ended amicably. Like we were friends. I, was just like, I respect it. Like I was pining after him. I thought it was pretty obvious, but he just thought I was a friend. And I thought I was such hot shit. And then when I actually like looked at myself, my mom let me have like them damn long curtain bags with hair up to here. Like it was such an ugly look. And I remember my mom still shows me photos to this day. I'm like, why did you let me dress like that? Why'd you let me have my hair like that? She's like, you wanted it. I'm like, no, you shouldn't have let me have the creative freedom that you did. No wonder why he didn't like me. I'm going to quickly go in with the Revolution Skin Silk Glowing Foundation. It's like, no wonder why he didn't like me. I look weird. So now we're going to move on to 2nd grade. Now, 2nd grade was actually a pretty unique school year for me because I had this teacher. Her name was Miss Summers. And she actually was our 2nd grade teacher, and she loved our class so much that she moved with us to the 3rd grade before she ended up retiring from teacher because she got pregnant and she moved on to do better things in life. But we were her only class. She loved us so much she was able to take us with us. So when I was in 2nd grade, I met this little boy named Jared. Now I really, again, fell in love with Jared. And I thought this was the boy for me. Now we did a school field trip to SeaWorld. and I got to be paired up with him. So he was my buddy, and we did SeaWorld, and we went to this blast zone, and his mom watched us. And I thought, like, this is it. This is my boyfriend. We used to have, like, nap time in second grade. I remember me and him used to go into this tent, and we would, like, make out. And I say, like, make out, like, loosely. Whatever second grade people did. Like, we would just, like, kiss and stuff like that. And I remember that I came down with horrible tonsillitis when I was in second grade. And so did Jared. And that's how everybody found out that we were, like, an item or, like, boyfriend and girlfriend at the time. Because we were the only students in the class to get sick. And I got horribly sick with tonsillitis, like horribly sick. And so did he. So we were together, and I really, really liked him. And that was the first time, like, for Valentine's Day, I was excited because I was going to have a boyfriend. But I didn't know that there was a girl named Kimberly in the class right next to us that Jared also was dating. I didn't know this until Valentine's Day. He did get me a card, which I thought was really sweet because we did the same exact thing where the teachers, like, set you up. I think it's like a tradition that all teachers do, where you had the party, you had the box, and he got me something, and he got this little girl named Kimberly something as well. And I couldn't believe that I had found that out on Valentine's Day when I saw him give her stuff. And I was like, who is this? Because we had recess. And I was like, who is this? He goes, oh, this is Kimberly. And he goes, this is Kimberly. She's my girlfriend. I said, I thought I was your girlfriend. He's like, you both are my girlfriend. Now, that's what I like about kids. Kids were just not afraid to say shit, right? They did not care. He was very open and honest. He thought it was okay that he had two girlfriends. Now, the thing is, though, I could tell that he, like, generally really, like, liked her because this bitch was really pretty. She was really pretty. Like, she had beautiful blonde hair. She used to wear earrings. She was really pretty. And I hated her. I did. So I just remember being upset because I didn't realize that it would have to be shared between me and her. And then when we went into third grade, Jared was still in my class, but he had told me that he was no longer interested in me. He just wanted to be with Kimberly. And I was just mortified. My first boyfriend on Valentine's Day, I had to share with somebody named Kimberly, and then he ended up leaving me for her. So fourth grade comes and goes. I don't have any interest in fourth grade. Same thing with fifth grade. I don't have any interest with anybody in fifth grade. So then we get to middle school. Now, middle school is a whole different ball game because in middle school, they didn't do the whole, like, let's do a class party, let's make a box. They did flowergrams. So you would pay the Dragon Dollars, which is like our school's money at the time. You would buy Dragon Dollars to buy stuff at school. It was, I don't know why they did that, but they did. And you could also earn Dragon Dollars. So they would do Dragon Dollars and oh my God, my hair. They would do Dragon Dollars. And so they did flowergrams. It's like $3 for a flower. They go around a third period and they would pass out the flowers. So when I was in sixth grade, I was one of the few girls in school that did not get anything because I did not have a significant other. I didn't have any girlfriends to do stuff with because I didn't meet my childhood best friend until a year later. So in sixth grade, I got to watch all these girls get all these flowergrams from these boys, and I got to watch everybody be lovey-dovey, and I'm over here going, I hate Valentine's Day. Because it was just a reminder that I was alone. Now, granted, I'm in sixth grade. Would I really have to care about being alone? In a grand scheme, looking back now, girl, I had nothing to worry about. But when you're in that age group, when you're like starting to, grow into yourself, you're starting to, go through puberty and have body changes, and you're starting to like meet boys and starting to have like different feelings, like, you're getting like sexually awakened. Like it's an eye opener. So it sucked. I got to watch everybody walk around with all these flowergrams and Valentine's Day stuff. I had nothing. So I started to get like really bitter at that point because I've never had a good Valentine's Day. If you really think about it, leading up to that point, I've never had a good Valentine's Day. So I was very bitter, needless to say. So I move over to seventh grade and I meet this boy named Josh. I'm going to go in my Dominique concealer. Meet this boy named Josh, and every girl was obsessed with Josh. Every girl. Now, he was a player. I mean, a player through and through. Like, he played every girl that he could because he thought that he was the shit. And you know what? At the time, he 1,000% was the shit. Every girl wanted him, myself included. And he would make everybody feel special. He would call me on the phone. He made it seem like he was very interested in me. But what it really ended up turning out is that he really was like in love with one of my friends. And they ended up dating like literally all throughout middle school and high school. They were like each other's sweethearts. So like they were obviously meant to be. But he was such a player that when it came to Valentine's Day, when he thought like he was like, oh, I'm gonna get you something, like I got you something, I got you like flower grams, like you're not gonna have, like you're gonna have something. I was so excited. Come third period, I feel like I have a hair somewhere and I just don't know where it is. Come third period, I thought, here we go. I'm gonna have to get my first flowergram in middle school, so I'm not gonna be left out. Nope. Nope, I didn't get anything, but he sure did get her something. I won't say her name. She's like happily married now with like 4 kids, and I'm very happy for her, but like we lost touch long ago. Not because of him, just because we went to different schools. So like legit, he got her something and I realized that I did not have anything. So that was another year of me not having anything for Valentine's Day. And again, I see all these like couples get each other stuff. They'd all walk around those like all these massive flowers, stuffed animals, teddy bears, chocolates. Like they were all like living it up. Like it was like the thing to have that walking around school. It was the thing. So come 8th grade year, again, I had no one. I was interested in someone in 7th grade, but he was considered a class weirdo and he ended up moving away. So by the time that like I could have possibly had him for Valentine's, he was already in a different school at that point. So again, I had nobody. So I was all by myself. And I got to watch again as 8th grade came and went and everybody did flowergrams and I again did not get anything. So I was actually pretty devastated by that. So I go into high school and we get to high school. I get to my 9th grade year and they have the 9th graders separated from all the rest of the school in the 9th grade center. Why they did that, I have no clue. But I ended up meeting this boy. His name was Christian, which he actually became a police officer now. And he looks so freaking good. Like, I'm sorry. He was a good looking 9th grader. Somehow he was interested in me. I don't know how, because he was a year older than me. But somehow he was interested in me. And I could never, for the life of a day, figure out why. But he asked me to be his girlfriend. We met in the 9th grade center because he was there because he actually had a different chick. And we ended up meeting. And I liked him. But he was so freaking boring. He was so unbelievably boring that I ended up leaving him like a week later because whenever we talk on the phone, he'd just be talking to somebody else, like his family the whole time. Like not even like paying attention to me on the phone, which is I found to be like incredibly rude. But he was like my first like high school boyfriend. We lasted for a week and it was just such a boring relationship. Like I think the most we did was even just like pop kiss, but regardless, we ended up breaking up after a week, and that was my first boyfriend in high school. And I realized that my high school did the same thing that my middle school did, where they would do flowergrams, and it would be delivered every 3rd period. So at that point, I had my best friend, Jessica, from childhood, and she was like, okay, well, let's just send each other something so that we both don't feel like we're left out, because she didn't have a boyfriend at the time, I didn't have a boyfriend at the time. So we sent each other flowergrams, and we would come in with like hearts, like box of chocolates and teddy bears and stuff like that. Just simple stuff because we wanted to feel like we were special too, because everybody had somebody. Everybody had flowers, teddy bears, chocolates. Everybody had shit except me and her were like, we don't have anything. So I was just like, yes, let's just bring each other something so we can just feel like we're important, that we could be included. So that year, she ends up meeting her husband that she's married to now. They end up dating at the end of that year. So moving on to 10th grade. Okay, so then come 10th grade, Jessica tries to convince me to date her husband's best friend at the time. And because like I said, they were high school sweethearts. They met in 9th grade and they're married to this day. They have 3 kids. I'm so happy for them. And I still talk to her all the time. So like legit, they tried to convince me to date his best friend. So I cave in and I said, okay, cool. Maybe we'll date. I did not like this guy at all. Was not attracted to him, but I was like, maybe we'll try dating. Him and I dated for 2 weeks and I could not stand him in a sense that like he would ask to hold my hand. He'd ask to kiss me. It was just so weird. It was just such a weird like relationship because he'd ask me to do everything and I didn't want to like be asked. I just wanted him to do it. Like just hold my hand, just kiss me. And then when he'd call me, be like so quiet on the phone. I'm like, this is such a boring freaking relationship. Like, why would I want to be part of this? So him and I ended up ending things rather quickly. I mean, like I ended it because I was like, I can't. And so I thought, great, we're going to have another year where I'm going to be alone and I'm not going to have anybody. And it is what it is. Well, halfway through 10th grade, I meet this guy named Edwin. And Edwin really like kind of captivated like my heart. I really ended up liking this boy, and we would start to talk on the phone all the time. I distinctly remember this like ringtone that I had for him, and it was like it would come on. He'd call me like at 10:30 at night because he couldn't call my house phone because I was too late. My dad would have got so mad if he called. So I just like got a cell phone and I paid for the minutes. And I distinctly remember leaving my cell phone on, and he called me when he got off of work because he had a job because he was a year older, and he worked at a pizza place. And I remember really, 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 really like falling in love with this kid. Like really like falling in love. I think like that. I feel like I don't want to say he's like my first love because I think Corey is, but I really, really ended up falling for this kid, and he knew it too. Like he knew that I really liked him, and we were talking so much, especially during like the winter break. We talked a lot during the winter break, like nonstop. So when we got to the new year, I thought, oh my gosh, like he's going to ask me to be his girlfriend. Like he's going to ask me to be his girlfriend. And I'm so excited. This is it. This is the first time I'm going to have like a legitimate boyfriend on like, you know, Valentine's Day. I got super, super excited. So right around the time of Valentine's Day, what I thought he was going to ask me to be his Valentine, he ended up not asking me to be his Valentine. He ended up asking this girl named Lynette to be his Valentine because apparently he was like in love with her. And I should have known because he used to talk to me about her all the time. He made it very clear that him and I were just friends. But how can you be just friends and talk every single night on the phone? Like, how could you do that? We were planning like Disney trips. We were talking about our future. Like, you legit knew that I was freaking, like, had such deep feelings for you. And yet you had such deep feelings for you, and you freaking played me. You played into it. So I was very devastated when he openly told me that he asked Lynette to be his Valentine. Like, he told me, like, I'm asking her. And she said yes, and they started to date, and him and I kind of backed off our friendship because I was devastated. I remember that was the first time I genuinely really cried hard over a boy, going, I invested like, you know, months of my life into you, talking to you, like telling you my life and my story and like my dreams and my hopes, and you ask another girl to be your Valentine. I was devastated. So needless to say, when it came to Valentine's Day, I didn't get anything that year. The only thing I got something from was from Jessica and my parents. And I remember I used to see him and Lynette walk around the high school holding hands. He bought her like this big old stuffed teddy bear with chocolates and flowers, and oh my God, like he treated her like she was royalty. And I was just absolutely devastated. He still tried to call me, but at that point I was like, I have nothing to do with you, and I would just not pick up the phone. Well, about a month later, he ends up calling me, and I forgot how he got my attention. I think because like he approached me at school or something like that and let me know that like Lynette dumped him and that he was devastated Lynette dumped him. And so me, being the stupid, gullible girl that I was, fell for his tears because I feel like we've all been there at one point or another, right? I'm going to go into the One Size Beauty setting powder because it's pink. So me being the gullible girl I was, because like I think we all fall for men that have tears and we think, oh my God, this is it. He's being sincere. I fell for it, and I essentially not took him back because we never dated, but I decided to give him another chance. And he had told me that he had made a big mistake by dating her, that he thought about me the whole time, and he realized that what he was looking for the whole time was standing right in front of him, and that he really wanted me. So he wanted me to give him a chance. Now, I was super ecstatic to hear that because I was like, wow, like I've never had a boy like fight for me the way that he is and telling me the things the way that he is. So I said yes. So him and I started to actually date in March. And I just remember the second that like he became my boyfriend, I felt different. I thought I'd be super excited. I used to be so like sexually attracted to him that I remember that anytime him and I would like be near each other, I would get like so freaking like wet. I'm sorry if I'm being too open, by the way, but this is just how I am with my friends. I'm very open. I'm a very open book. So I remember I used to get like really wet whenever him and I would talk because I was like so turned on. But then like whenever we would kiss, I hated the way he kissed. He was very much like open mouth, like swallowing my lips, and I was just like, I need to teach you how to kiss better. Like, I did not like how he kissed in the slightest. But, you know, we would make out and stuff like that. And I remember being, like, really, like, just still, like, liking this kid. Well, like I said, I felt like something was different because I used to feel all these things. And then we actually got together. I'd stopped getting like super or corny. I stopped getting super corny with around him, and his kissing kind of like turned me off just a little bit. So I was just kind of like, what's going on? And then I realized that I guess in that process of grieving him, ended up losing feelings for him. I think I said yes just because I thought this is what I wanted. But then I realized after a month of dating that I don't actually want to date this kid at all. Like, I don't want to date him at all. So I ended up breaking up with him a month later, being like, I just can't do this. Like, I don't want to date you. Like, you broke my heart, and I've never forgotten that. I never forgot me crying for the first time over you. Like, no boy's going to break my heart like that and then come back to me because his girlfriend dumped him. Absolutely not. I deserve so much better. So I ended up breaking up with him. And then during the summer, when we used to have, like, instant messenger during the summer, I remember one day he messaged me and said how much he couldn't stop thinking about me and that he made the biggest mistake and he wishes we can get back together. And I said, have a good life. Essentially, have a good life. So then we move into 11th grade. Now, 11th grade is when I met Corey. And we did not, like, date right away, just so you guys know. When I met Corey, I thought he was straight up just an asshole. I thought Corey was an asshole. And he was. Like, he was such an asshole. He was. And, like, he had a girlfriend every other week. But I remember we met in the 9th grade center because that's just kind of, like, where we hung out in the morning. And I remember he was, like, asking for my phone number. I was like, I'm never going to give it to you. Like, no, not giving it to you. And this is the time that I started reading Twilight, by the way. So I remember I thought that Corey reminded me of Jacob Black. And then I met this guy in 11th grade. His name was Chris. And I really liked Chris. He was very much into anime. And I was like, I'm going to love anime because he loves anime. We used to play, like, video games all the time together online. And then he ended up telling me that he never had feelings for me. He had feelings for this girl named Diane. And they were together, like, all throughout high school and college. And then they ended up breaking up in college. And I only know that because I'm friends with them on Facebook. And I saw their breakup post. And I was like, I'm going in, by the way, the Ofra highlighter right here. So I was like, So... I'm a stalker, apparently. I know these things. You ever do, like, that thing where, like, you guys see a couple together and then, like, you see that they're no longer posting pictures together and you start going, wait a minute. Y'all are not posting photos together. What's going on? So you do, like, a deep dive into their social media accounts and you try to find out when exactly they broke up and then the timeline of their relationship. Yeah, that's me and my husband. That is me and my husband. Because there's people that we have known and followed for years that we see they're no longer together. We're like, wait a minute. You were married to somebody. You're not together anymore. What's going on? We try to do a deep dive. We're that nosy. No shame. So like I said, I really like this guy named Chris 11th grade. We used to play video games all the time together. And he knew I liked him, but he made it very clear that he had no interest in me. He liked this other girl named Diane. So I kind of knew from the very get-go. But that still didn't stop me from, like, having feelings for him because I still ended up having feelings for this kid. But that's the time I met Corey. And Corey, like I said, he had a girlfriend every other week. Remember, he asked my phone number, and I said, absolutely not. Like, you're not getting my phone number. Like, no way, not giving it to you. And I ended up giving it to him. He ended up convincing it with me by buying me a bag of Skittles. And he then called me, told me he had a girlfriend named Heather, and that he was, like, in love with her. They've been together for, like, a week. And then I told him pretty much lose my number. And then we just ended up becoming friends. So we generally just ended up becoming friends. And I just make fun of him for being essentially a whore, is what I used to call him. I was like, you're a whore. You're dating a girl every single week. You're a whore. But we became good friends because of it. So come 11th grade, like I said, I really like this guy named Chris. And he didn't end up liking me or anything like that. So I didn't have anyone in 11th grade because Corey was dating other girls at the time. And I didn't really have interest in him. Like, my interest for Corey was, like, on and off. Like, sometimes I'd like him, sometimes I wouldn't like him. It just kind of depended on, like, the situation that we were in. But he had this girlfriend named Kristen that they dated for, like, 2 years. So, like, I was, once again, alone on Valentine's Day. But I remember Corey was single at that time. And I was going to ask him to be my Valentine since no one's ever asked me to be someone's Valentine. Like, no one's ever asked me. So I was going to ask him, but my friends told me to do a dare. So they said, I dare you to go up and kiss Corey. So I won't forget. It was right before Valentine's Day. I walked over to Corey. It was during lunch break. And all of our friends are watching. And I said, hey, Corey, come here. I have a secret to tell you. And he said, what? He bends down. And I turn to kiss him on his lip. And he pulls back so hard. And he goes, what are you doing? Like, well, his exact words are, what the fuck are you doing? And I said, oh, I'm trying to kiss you. He goes, why? And I was like, oh, it was a dare. He goes, oh. And I said, but at that point, you hear all them freaking laughing behind me. And I was like, you're such a dick. He goes, well, you just came out my face. Why didn't you tell me? And I said, because it was a freaking dare. I couldn't just tell you. He goes, if you would have told me, I would have done it. Anyway, we talk about that story till this day. By the way, all of our friends know that story because I was like, he is a dick. But yet somehow I'm still here. So anyway, 11th grade comes and goes and I don't have anybody. 12th grade comes up. 12th grade rolls around, and again, I don't have anybody, but I do at that point have some feelings for Corey at that point. But Corey was dating this, like I said, this girl named Kristen. I'm going back into this palette. I'm going back into that first shade that we used right here just to go underneath my waterline. 12th grade comes and Corey has a girlfriend. I don't have anybody yet again. So no flower grams for me because this time it's just me and Jessica just doing like teddy bears and chocolate exchanges, and I'm just like so over Valentine's Day. Well, during that summer, Corey ends up breaking up with that girl, and he ends up losing his dog. And when he lost his dog, he called me. And at that point, we kind of like lost touch, and we started talking on the phone. And then we ended up getting together to like, I felt bad. I wanted to make him feel better. So we ended up just like kind of hanging out. And then, you know, one thing led to another. We started hanging out, and he asked me on a date. I said yes. I'm going to go into this first shade right here to blend that out. I said yes. So we actually go on a date, and that was the first time that Corey actually like kissed me, was on that date. And oh my gosh, y'all, Corey kissed me. It was like fireworks. It was like freaking magic when Corey kissed me. The most amazing kiss I've ever had. He is a very good kisser, and I tell him out all the time. And I said, it's probably because of all those chicks he used to make out with before me, because you were just a little whore. So he's just a fantastic kisser. So from that point on, me and Corey got together, and we've been together now for 15 years. We have broken up twice. You know, we've broken up twice for like 6 months each, dated other people, but we ended up working it out, and now we're married. But from that point on, I've always been very turned off to Valentine's Day, completely turned off to Valentine's Day. And Corey and I have gone out and celebrated. We used to go to the Osceola County Fair, and we'd go there. And Corey would get me some stuff. Like he would get me like a Valentine's Day card and some chocolates and stuff like that. But he never asked me to be his Valentine. And he said, yes, I did. I said, no, you would get me a card that says, will you be my Valentine, with flowers and chocolate on Valentine's Day. You never physically said the words, will you be my Valentine? No one has ever physically said the words, will you be my Valentine, to me. Ever. And I just got like a card, and he's like, yeah, no, but that's what we used to do. Like, that's fine. Well, he's never asked me physically. He just put it in a card. So I made a comment to him the other day that was like, you know, you've never asked me to be my Valentine. He said, yes, I have. I ask every year. I said, no, you don't. Because there's been years that him and I haven't celebrated at all. There's been years we don't get each other anything, don't even say anything. We just go like, oh, happy Valentine's Day, and do like a quick little kiss. Because he doesn't care for the holidays just as much as I do. I think it's kind of a gimmick and a quick cash grab. And love should be celebrated every day, not just to one day. So he knows like how I feel about Valentine's Day. He also knows all these stories too, because I've told him why I hate Valentine's Day. And so he's well aware, but he said, no, I have asked you. And I said, no, you have not. You've asked me to card, but you never physically asked me. Well, I think because I said that, the other day we were laying in bed, and he said, babe, for Valentine's Day, I'm gonna do something special. And I said, what? He goes, I made us reservations to go have a late lunch, early dinner at a nice restaurant that I'm gonna take care of, and we're gonna go to the bookstore, like Barnes and Noble's right next to it, as my Valentine's Day gift to you. And I said, are you serious? He goes, yes, because I know how much you hate the holiday, and I want you to have a good day. And I was like, are you gonna ask me to be your Valentine? He said, yes, you just have to wait. So we'll see what happens, y'all. We will see what happens. Well, I'm pre-filming this, by the way. So today's actually the 13th. Tomorrow's Valentine's Day, but you're seeing this on Valentine's Day. Spoiler alert, fourth wall break. But yeah, so he's actually going to do something for Valentine's. We're going to see if he actually asks me. I would definitely do a follow-up in tomorrow's video to let you know. So I just quickly threw on some liner. I went in with the ColourPop liner. This is in the shade called Good Reef. I realized how long this video is because I keep talking. I'm so sorry. But so since Corey's doing something special for me for Valentine's Day, I feel like I need to go do something for him. So when I get done filming, I'm actually gonna go run to Target and get him like a cheesy balloon and a teddy bear and a card and some chocolate, because he loves like chocolate. I actually don't eat a lot of chocolate, so he knows like for me, getting me chocolate, it's like not really something I'm going to be that into. I'm going to go in with my lip liner right here before I do my eyes. I'm going to do Jean-Luc Cosmetics. This is in the shade Mother Pucker. I'm not a big like Valentine's Day person, chocolate person, nothing. So like I told him, you never had to get me anything. Last year we went to Target and we just did like a cool little challenge where we were supposed to only spend $25 on each other. He spent $75. I spent $25. getting him the stupid cheesy Valentine's Day stuff. He got me like Starbucks gift cards, Fortnite gift cards. He knows, don't bother getting me chocolate because I don't really eat a lot of chocolate because one, I have very sensitive teeth, so I'm prone to cavities. But two, I just don't ever like the Valentine's Day chocolate. Like I just don't like the box of chocolates. I never have. So since he's going all out tomorrow for me, I feel like it's my job as his wife to go out and get him some stuff for Valentine's Day. So I guess this year, y'all, I am finally celebrating. I never do. Last year, like I said, we did a little gimmick. We just did like a little challenge, but like we didn't go anywhere. This time, we're going somewhere. Like I said, I think it's because he knows that I've just been against Valentine's Day my entire life, essentially. Because ever since I was a girl, I have gotten horrible. Ever since I was a girl, Valentine's Day has just never been a good day for me. And maybe it all started off because of what I did to that little boy with Jolly Rancher and that little kid at the pool. I'm going to go into the new Ofra shade. This is the Oh My Rai Rai. I'm going to use this. Maybe it's because like what I did to those little boys and that I got karma all those years. But that is why I hate Valentine's Day, because I've had really horrible Valentine's Day as a kid. And it's just really kind of like stuck with me that I've never forgotten it. That I feel like that is why I had just been so against it. And like a lot of my friends love Valentine's Day. And a lot of my friends don't love Valentine's Day. It's just one of those like hit and miss holidays. I will say that as a server, I've always also hated it because I hated serving people on Valentine's Day, because that's usually when that's usually when people come in who never really got to eat, and they would just be so stingy, or they'll do like their first date on Valentine's Day. I'm like, oh, this is kind of like awkward to have like a first date, because if it goes wrong, like, oof, that would suck. That is essentially why I have always hated this day. This smells, by the way, this smells incredible. And this is such a pretty color. Pretty color. Now I do want to go into my House Labs. I'm going to go into this cocoa shade right here. I told you I'm going to be wearing this every day because I want to see if it like actually has a plumping effect. So we're actually going to go into this cocoa shade to put on top, because I just also love having a good glossy moment. So I'll put this right here. So pretty. Okay, so I'm just going to quickly throw on some mascara and probably do a little inner corner moment for my eyes. But this essentially is my Valentine's Day inspired look. I'll be right back. All right, guys, and to finish off the look, we're going to go with the One Size Until Dawn setting spray. And this is my Valentine's Day inspired makeup look. Not gonna lie, I do think it's really pretty. I will say normally I put on lashes, but I wanted to try this new mascara that I got on TikTok called Lash Next Door. It's from Brooklyn and Bailey. I did a TikTok if you guys want to check this out. I think this is a really nice mascara, and it only cost me $8.73 on the TikTok shop. So yeah, I just want to take a moment to thank Ofra Cosmetics for sponsoring a portion of today's video. Like I said, you guys can get the Self-Love collection right now. It's available on Ofra's website. You guys can use my code Allie to save you guys 20% off. And they're also doing a sale on anything that's red and pink. You guys can get 25% off that automatically. And if you use my code, you guys can use the code on top, making it 45% off for anything red and pink all the way until February 18th. But Ofra, thank you so much for literally sponsoring a portion of today's video. I actually do like this eyeshadow palette. I think it's really cute. And I think it pairs really, really, really nicely with this Ofra highlighter. This highlighter, so freaking gorgeous. And I was impressed with how much I actually liked the Oh My Rai Rai liquid lip. This is such a pretty liquid lip. So freaking pretty. So I'll make sure I list everything that I wore on my face down below. But I appreciate you guys all for being here and probably watching this very long video. I didn't think it was going to be as long, but I just had a lot to say. I wanted to give you guys a deep dive into why I hate Valentine's Day. Even though I'm married and I've been with my husband for 15 years, Valentine's Day is still just one of those holidays that I will just never like. And I think it just really stems from all my childhood trauma of being rejected, of being like cheated on, from being put in the friend zone. There are things that happened to me as a child that I just will never forget. I think it really just put a bad taste in my mouth. You think that 15 years would erase it, but alas, it has not. It has stuck with me this entire time. But I am going to go out and celebrate with my husband. So now I'm going to go run to the store and get him some small cheesy stuff, because I feel like I should be a good wife and get him some things as well. But I hope everybody has a beautiful day. I'll definitely let you know how my day went in tomorrow's video. And like I said, I will make in tomorrow's video, but Yeah, that is it for today's video, guys. If you guys enjoyed today's video, please make sure you guys give this video a cheeky thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you guys have not already, because I do post 4 to 5 videos every single week. Make sure you guys head over to my other channel, to Ofra to Life. You guys get to see my cool, wonderful adventures, my amazing husband, Corey. And as always, the biggest thank you goes to these beautiful, wonderful Patreon members you guys see right here. Thank you guys so much for everything. And to my subscribers and viewers, thank you guys so much for being here. Whether you guys like this video, you guys thumbs down this video, you guys subscribed, you guys did not subscribe, either way, thank you guys so much for being here. I love and appreciate each and every single one of you. So with that said, guys, I love you, and I'll see you guys in my very next video.